Hello, everyone, and welcome to Birds Talk 2. This is a part of population biology's contribution to Picnic Day. Enjoy! So, we know that humans communicate in simple and complex situations all the time, whether you're arguing with your siblings or mom or dad, asking why you haven't taken out the trash, or if you're driving to your favorite fast food restaurant and asking for your food through the drive-through, you say thanks for the food, and the cashier usually says to have a great day. You can communicate in more complex ways as well, such as trying to escape an escape room where you have to find a certain object and work as a team in order to advance to the next stage. So we know that communication is very important in several contexts, and this is true for many animals, including birds. Birds often have a dramatic form of coloration for many of their species and different sexes, such as the females or males, and this helps them communicate if they are ready for reproduction and things like that. Additionally, other forms of communication besides their coloration includes songs, calls, and noises for certain situations. And sometimes animals communicate so that they can help recognize one another after spending certain times apart. So why are animals such as birds so colorful? Well, I've mentioned very briefly that coloration can help attract a mate. And this form of communication, it's not a direct form of communication such as making a call or a vocalization, but it is a signal to another individual who is observing and potentially ready to mate themselves. In the middle, we have a kingfisher who has many brightly colored feathers and plumages. And on the right over here, we have a red-winged blackbird. Red-winged blackbirds usually have red patches on their shoulders, and the brighter the patch, the more attractive the male is to females. And this is a form of communication so that the male can acquire a mate and mate with the female and produce offspring. So one reason birds are colorful is so that they can communicate with others that they are ready to reproduce and potentially generate offspring. Furthermore, birds might be communicating in a more traditional sense, such as the vocalizations, chirps, and songs, in order to communicate crucial information about what is going on in their environment. For example, on the left, we might have a bird who is communicating to other birds around them that there is a predator around. So, for example, the bird might be um, under stress because there is a raptor around, and that hawk or eagle might be wanting to eat the smaller birds. So the bird is trying to communicate with its siblings or conspecifics that there is danger around, therefore you should flee or take cover. Additionally, you can also communicate that there is food around. So maybe this pair of birds found a productive area which includes a lot of food, and they are trying to communicate by chirping or singing a call that there is food in this area, and the conspecifics should migrate or disperse to this area for the food as well. A little bit more aggressively, these hummingbirds are communicating in a way that suggests, hey, you should not be encroaching onto my territory. You should take my signals and communications as the fact that I will be willing to defend my territory, and if you try to encroach on my territory, I will fight you. And that's what the image is showing here. I think one of the most important forms of communication or and consequences of communication rather, is the ability to recognize one another based on the vocal signatures of the one who is producing the sounds. We have three images here that sort of show a pair of birds um, engaging in some sort of uh, recognition. So we have these penguins on the left who are touching their beaks together, potentially after a long voyage into the sea. And obviously, this is a photo from SeaWorld, so they're not naturally in their environments. But if you would imagine, certain penguins usually go into the ocean to acquire food after they have generated an offspring, and they bring it back. And in the sea of many penguins in the area, the father usually has to um, locate the offspring, and they do that by tuning into the vocal characteristics of the calls and songs. Additionally, you might have individuals who are returning from a very long migration, and in order to generate new offspring, they have to remember the vocal characteristics of their mate, which is shown by the picture here as a potential story. And furthermore, to be able to even recognize your mate, you have to make sure that um, this mate is who you remember it to be, and you can display um, you can generate some displays such as these ones here in order to confirm the identity of the individual, and that is another form of communication. So hopefully the next time you are walking around in the park or taking a stroll down your neighborhood, you might notice certain vocalizations or forms of communication between birds, and you might ask yourself, what does that mean? And what is the purpose for that? And before I let you go, here's a photo and a video taken by our very own Jason Liu that shows a little bit of chirping and vocalizations. I hope you have a great picnic day and that you enjoyed these videos and images. Have a great day.